Welcome to another video from Dr. Lock. Okay, so I've tried this Ring Doorbell for a couple of years. I put it out in the weather, and I want to give you back my feedback about this. This is probably not the version you're buying now, it's probably the one before it. Okay, so on the back here, it's got a backing plate, and you can run AC power to this to keep it charged. Unfortunately, where I was mounting it, I never had an AC power supply, so I was always left to charge it. So what I did is I basically came through and I drilled through a hole here, and I come through with a USB charger and plug it onto a battery power bank, what you charge your phone with, about once a month at least. The lifespan of this particular unit wasn't as long as I wanted it. The app feature as well was quite good, but it annoyed me having to continually pay. And when I put it on the actual door as well, I found corrosion on the screws and all the rest. It did still continue to work. The front camera on the front here has got a lot of bubbles going around it. Look, it did serve its purpose for what it was, but I got tired of recharging it. And I also got the extender where it makes noise throughout the house, and that did work as well. And I set it to the dog barking tone, and my dogs loved that. So every time the dogs heard the dogs, everybody barked, and it was like, holy moly, somebody's at the front door. So that was kind of good. I took it off because I've gone back to an old-fashioned system of just a normal doorbell or a real bell. Just because it doesn't need recharging. That was one of the biggest downfalls I had with this, the recharging functionality about it. The corrosion factor was a little another one which I wasn't really happy with. The rest of it, people push it and they want you to open up your phone, grab your phone, open up the app, talk to them. Where we are, it was just too noisy for that. The couple of benefits I did find which was quite good is that it had some sort of capture where it goes to the cloud or via Wi-Fi, so that was good for unexpected extra recordings that my home security camera system wasn't picking up. So I give it kudos on that, but you know, I'm a bit unhappy. I paid a couple $100 for it and I'm just taking it off the door because it's giving me the shits. That's my review after a couple of years of using it. Am I going to put it back on the door? Probably not. Am I just going to throw it in a cupboard? Probably. I'm just going to go for a traditional bell where people's expectations aren't as much as where you're using a device like this where they want to communicate backwards and forwards, because it's not always functionable. I will be moving on to an IP-based, well, let me see if I can get this right, IP-based PoE SIP system, which will go through my PABX. If you don't know what that is, it's a doorbell where you plug a blue cable in the back to power it, and that'll be coming from your switcher, and it'll pop out on your phone line. So when I lift up my phone, I'm going to see who's on the other side, and I can activate and release that door for them to enter or talk to them, and also see communications. So it's a harder way around, but I'm finding it the better way around because using an app to do what I need to do is, in a commercial sense of things, is not viable. It's just not working. I've got to charge it all the time. People push the button, it's dead already, and the battery seems to have a life shelf that just goes a little less and less and less. So I'm going to have to go to something along those lines. So that's my review after a couple of years. Yeah, it lasted a couple of years. Was it great? No. Did it work? Yes. Am I replacing it? Yes. And am I truly happy with it? No. Okay, leave your comments down below. If you disagree, put it in the comments. This is about identifying what works for different people, identifying what actually, how you're using it, and how the product can be useful for you or not useful for you. I mean, if it was indoors and I had a rental property, I would probably put this in a cupboard. And when they wanted to speak to the owner, they could push a button and say, owner, how do you turn the gas off for the stove? Because I think it's leaking. And then you would get on the phone with your app and you'd say, hey, yeah, you could do it this way. Rental properties, B&B, Airbnb, things like that, I would see this as great. If I was using a car yard, I would put this on every car. They push it, you have a person on the other end ready for that, and they could do that. A two-way communication with a video would be ideal in many circumstances. But for mine as a doorbell, no, I wasn't happy. Didn't really tick the boxes. So defunct for me. Leave your comments. Thanks for watching.